Hello, I am Colleen Echohawk. My sister and I are enrolled members of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma and belong to the Athabascan people of Metasta Lake, Alaska. I am the executive director of the Seattle Club, where our mission is to nurture, affirm, and renew the spirit of urban Native people.
And I'm Abigail Echohawk, and I am the co-director of Partnerships for Native Health at Washington State University. I work with a team of researchers and community partners to improve the health and well-being of Native people.
Thank you for participating in this webinar, responding to concerning posts on social media, supporting those who post and those who witness. As a parent, mentor, or health educator, you are trusted advocates and resources for Native youth. In some cases, you might be the only person a young adult feels they can talk to. As you know, youth use social media to connect and communicate with friends, and as a way to express emotion. While this often comes across as funny cat videos and powwow dance clips, sometimes these posts contain concerning content, things that reference or allude to depression, substance abuse, harm to self, or harm to others.
Staff at We Are Native and the Social Media and Adolescent Health Research Team have been working together to understand this topic and have asked us to guide you through this webinar today.
Over the next 20 minutes, we will provide you with an overview of why this topic is important, share what we've learned from Native youth about this topic, and offer tools on how to respond and support youth in your community who are posting or viewing concerning messages on social media. For the purposes of this webinar, we will focus primarily on posts related to suicidality or harming oneself. What you will hear is a collection of stories from the community, as well as lessons learned from our research. We will start with a story that illustrates the challenges we all face when it comes to interpreting and responding to concerning posts on social media.
My name is Rosa Ukes, and I am from the Tulalip tribes. My family is the Gobins that are from Tulalip, and I'm also Colville. My dad is Nelson Ayukes. This is my daughter, Letitia Jack. She committed suicide in 2013. She faced a lot of depression. I think she had other health issues that she didn't want anybody to know about. She passed away when she was 20. She was a young mom. She had her daughter, Malia, when she was 18. She didn't finish high school. But when she was in school, basketball was her thing, well known in the community. She was our party planner. We didn't feel like decorating for Christmas, but she'd go buy the tree and ornaments and make Christmas happen. And she was just really outgoing and somebody you would never imagine, would do that. It was always FML with gun, unhappy faces, broken heart. We always thought she was just feeling sorry for herself. I didn't listen to the signs. We're trying to get the message that you can get help. That the pain, you may be eased of it, but it still goes on through your family. I guess what really helped us was that how the community came together and showed us support for our family. I had kept the building open, the community building, because I didn't want these youth to feel like they were alone. I mean, they just lost their best friend. I didn't want them contemplating it. I didn't want them out there drinking. I wanted to be there so they could share stories with me, be there together. People would just come sit with us and show us their love. My son Terrell is very active. He's always taking selfies or dancing. He would post, express anger and things with like the gestures, unhappy faces. And then eventually it became to guns and knives. And it's sad that it had to come from social media that my son was troubled.
I wouldn't say it was a call out for help. It was just more of expressing my pain. And I started expressing it through social media. And a lot of people noticed. I read everyone's comments, realizing how I mean so much to people. Here I am thinking, no one cares that I'm posting this. I don't think anyone's gonna care if I commit suicide. because that's the only thing I thought of.
And then you have to go to the family meeting, and you learn signs, what to look for. After you've learned about it, then you think, geez, that's why he was acting that way. That's why he quit going to school. That's why he wouldn't stay up all night. That's why he wouldn't get up in the day. That's why he wouldn't eat. I mean, you start learning the signs of possible depression. But at that time, I just thought he didn't like my cooking. I just thought he was being too much of a gamer, staying up all night and not getting up to go to school, not realizing he was giving up on himself and not feeling confident.
I finally got questioned by both of my parents, asking why do I post these things? Why do I want to do these type of things? Do you want to see other people hurt? Do I want to see young kids grow up to be like this? They were giving me advice, telling me that I'm going to be okay, and that if I ever need anyone to talk to, that they're going to be there. It was a painful situation knowing that I'm putting my family in hurt.
If my son is posting, what do? Do I ignore it and see if it happens again? Do you call 911? I just think that there has to be information shared at a starting point. A lot of us think it's looking for attention. It's really an evaluation. But now, after going through it, everything is important to me. I mean, my son was doing a video talking about his hurt and his pain, and I caught it and I just expressed to him, I love you. I'm here.
I've never seen my brother cry after I made a suicidal post. He called me, picked me up, and we took a drive somewhere. And he looked me straight in the eye and said, why do I want to do this? You're my younger brother. I can't lose another family member.
Just encourage them that if they are feeling that way, to ask for help. And that it's not a bad thing to ask. So I would encourage you, please ask for help, because there are resources that could prevent your family from going through a lot of grief. And know that you are loved and that you matter.
We hope this story demonstrates how social media can be used to respond to references of self-harm on social media. Now let's hear some more stories from other trusted adults who have helped youth through similar situations.
My name is Michelle Cunningham. My title is Prevention Specialist over at Kawachi Counseling Center for the Puyallup Tribe. And also on Sundays, my volunteer work is youth pastoring. So I work with a lot of teens, from ages 12 to 19.
I'm Gustavo Parra, and marriage and family therapy, working in the Mokolshu tribe. I have two experiences. One happens a month ago. This 17 years old female posted that she was tired of living, that she didn't want to be here anymore, and she posted, and she did it. And we usually reach out to the community when these things happen. And one of the things I get from a client was she knew the person, she read the post, and she didn't do anything. And I was kind of part of feeling the guilt. For that client in particular, is take a little the responsibility out of her. She was not responsible for the act, because she was feeling just too guilty about it. That was her fault. No, the person decided to do that. It is hard to know. You cannot read minds, you don't have that power, you cannot predict the future, but now you know some signs, now you know some red flags. Okay. These are learning process and all this. Of course, it's so painful for the family, it's so painful for the community, but we need to learn about what happened and how things happen and how we can prevent it later on.
I've seen many different posts from the kids. They do it for a reason, I feel, because they are trying to cry out for help. They are saying, hey, I need somebody to pay attention to me right now. I'm hurting inside. I need help. I know that they want privacy, but sometimes you need to see what they're doing to be able to help them. There's always things that are there that you can see, and just try to always pay attention to those things. Certain words in there that show that they're in distress, certain words that would say that, I'm having a hard time. Like when one of the kids posted, like, I hate myself, I hate school, I found out that there was a lot of bullying going on when he said he hated school.
We are not doing enough in the community because there's a lot of stigma about suicide. We have to educate the community on how to talk about this.
That's one of the reasons why I have Facebook, so I could just monitor it. See, I had one kid where he posted on there about I hate life, I hate school, and I can't do this anymore. I didn't respond in the comment box. Instead, what I did is I messaged him. So a private message and say, hey, are you doing okay? Is there anything I can do to help you? Also, I let the parents know that, hey, you need to look at some of the posts. There's really concern there. When speaking to their parents or their guardians, a lot of them were really surprised. They didn't realize, I did recommend, I said, I know a lot of the kids don't like you following them on Facebook, but always be their friend on Facebook. Always look and see what your kids are doing. If they have a cell phone, you're paying the bill. You can be able to see their messages. You have that right. Check on your child, see what they're doing. A lot of them were embarrassed, a lot of them were concerned, but most of the time, they really wanted to know about it. And also I've had some of the girls, they posted something, and then there was a comment on there by somebody that I didn't recognize, and it was a very inappropriate comment. So what I did is I looked on his profile, and I saw very inappropriate pictures and comments and things that I knew that her parents would not approve of. So what I did is I notified her parents and I let them know, hey, this is what's going on. There's also another post that some of the teens were posting that I was really concerned about. It said, it was a picture and it said, who would miss me if I was dead? And it was just an automatic post. And that I automatically told their parents, and I also messaged the child and I said, hey, what's going on?
Teachers, parents, they have to know, they have to have some resources on hand. And that can be part of the prevention piece and how we can talk with our kids about this.
There's been many times where we've given out the hotline. The kids have said, no, I'm okay. I was just posting that, I was just upset and feeling these emotions. And then, I would say, hey, here's the hotline, just to let you have it. You can give it to one of your friends if you come across one of your friends that are sad or feeling the same way, or, it could be for you. And I'd also give it to the parents or the guardians so that they could have this resource available to them if they're in distress or just felt like calling the number 2. And I think that's one of the things we really need to look out for is watch what these posts are saying. Have our friends and relatives, they need to be looking at their posts too, anybody that can be a resource to them.
As you can see, these public disclosures on social media provide opportunities to identify youth at risk and connect them to appropriate resources and support. Almost all adolescents use social media, and nearly a third reference depression symptoms on their profiles. During conversations with Native youth, all of them said they'd viewed concerning posts online. They also mentioned that they had turned to trusted adults for support, including parents, mentors, and tribal health educators. Even though this is a pretty common occurrence, when tribal health educators are polled, only 5% felt adequately prepared to respond.
In order to make sure you, the trusted adult, are prepared to respond to concerning social media posts, we have 4 goals for this webinar. Our first goal is that you will be able to identify youth who witness concerning social media posts, letting them know that they need not respond alone. Our second goal is that everyone is aware of and feels trained to navigate these situations. Our third goal is that you will be able to assess the experiences of those who see concerning posts and address their concerns, frustration, or fatigue. And finally, our fourth goal is that you will be able to confidently complete and implement the viewer care plan that you will learn about later on in this webinar. Now let's hear from Selena, a suicide prevention expert.
Hi, I'm Selena McCrae, and I am Navajo. My clans are, I am of the Bitterwater people, born for the Mountain Cove people. My maternal grandparents are the Tangle people, and my paternal grandparents are the Towering House people. And I work for the Thrive Suicide Prevention Project at the Northwest Portland Area Indian Health Board. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, we wanted to start with a little background information. Among American Indian and Alaska Native high school age students, 21.8% seriously considered attempting suicide, and 14.7% attempted suicide at least once in the last year. There are a number of factors that contribute to youth suicide: social pressure, stress, bullying, and depression. Youth suicide is unique in that it is thought to be more impulsive than adult suicide attempts. Therefore, responding to warning signs early on and developing a safe plan, including restricting means, can save lives. Several frameworks for addressing youth suicide already exist. ASK stands for Address Concerns, Show That You Care, and Know Where to Get Help. Other folks might be familiar with the QPR from the QPR Institute. QPR stands for Question, Persuade, Refer. More information about QPR can be found at www.qprinstitute.com. Tools such as the ASK framework and QPR trainings are helpful for preventing suicide among youth who have already been identified. We know from research that many youth reference depression symptoms and suicide on social media, but that these calls for help sometimes go unanswered. What we need is a framework to help link these online calls for help to the suicide prevention tools and interventions that we already know to be helpful. In other words, we need a guide for you, the adult, to assist youth who view these concerning posts and tools to create an appropriate response plan.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gostog Jr., and I'm an enrolled member of the Burns Paiute tribe, as well as Oglala Lakota on my dad's side, and I work for We Are Native, a multimedia health resource housed at the Northwest Portland Area Indian Health Board.
And I'm Dr. Megan Moreno, and I am part of the Social Media and Adolescent Health Research Team at Seattle Children's Research Institute. Our aim was to better understand the experiences and perspectives of Native youth when they view concerning posts on social media, barriers that prevent them from responding to such posts, and their recommendations for designing solutions. To gather this information, we held 3 small group discussions with 32 Native youth ages 14 through 22 years.
We heard insights and feedback from each of the groups and identified 3 common themes. The first theme was, I saw it and I alone ought to do something about it. In this theme, participants tended to note that they generally felt concerned when they witnessed references to depression or self-harm online. The following quote illustrates the empathetic concern felt by participants.
Because, just imagine if I felt that way and posted like that. I would want somebody there for me, to do something with me or something.
Participants' responses made it clear that they typically reach out and respond to these posts all on their own. They rarely mentioned consulting or involving others, but there was also a clear sense that they knew that their abilities to assist were limited. Participants recognized that, at best, they could distract the person from the difficult emotions they were experiencing.
Because with her, she's the tribe suicide prevention counselor and more professional, and she knows what she's doing. Rather than me, where I'm like, sorry man, do you want to hang out? Trying to get his mind off of it.
These critical youth perspectives informed goals 1 and 2 of this webinar. They showed us that we need to identify youth who are witnessing concerning posts and responding to them by themselves, and that we need to connect them with trusted adults who can help them navigate these experiences. This could mean, for example, discussing concerning posts at a school-wide function or at a community gathering. This will open dialogue for youth to share their concerns about social media posts with you. Later in the video, we will provide you with more concrete, actionable tips to achieve these goals. For now, we'll share more insights from the youth who participated in our discussions.
The second theme revealed during the focus groups was, knowing what to do is much harder than it sounds. Participants voiced a number of challenges. For one thing, the very act of interpreting the meaning of a concerning post was sometimes confusing. One youth explained a scenario where they had reached out after seeing a concerning message.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of my buddies, he posted something that said, I'm going to end my life tonight, or something weird like that. I messaged him to make sure everything is okay, He said, "Oh, I was just quoting a song."
Youth also described a phenomenon we call responder fatigue. They mentioned that they'd reached out to friends who had posted concerning messages, sometimes several times, but no action was taken. The friend didn't respond or continued to post concerning messages. The witness eventually gave up, as illustrated in these quotes.
"I'm not going to help. I'm not going to feel sorry for you guys. I offered my help to you, but you're not going to accept it." Because I thought, what if I assume he's quoting a lyric to a song, but he actually does kill himself? I'll feel bad because I wasn't able to say anything to him. That would feel so horrible. So I just ended up deleting him from Facebook.
Youth also described that whether the person was a close friend or just an acquaintance could also be a barrier to intervening. If it wasn't a close friend, they sometimes felt uncomfortable responding. One youth explained,
"Well, I don't know how to say, I don't know how to bring it up because we weren't that close."
So I didn't have the right just to step in and be like, "Hey, why did you post that picture, you know?"
These comments from youth led to Goal 3, demonstrating the importance of assessing the witness's experience, as well as how confusing it can be for youth to read and respond to these posts. Acknowledging responder fatigue and urging youth not to interpret posts are both important components of this goal. Let youth know that they should assume all concerning posts are meaningful and should reach out to a trusted adult for assistance.
The third theme that came up during the focus group discussions was the need for tools and training to confidently respond to concerning messages on social media. The youth identified people they would go to for help. Trusted adults were frequently mentioned, like their parents, relatives, teachers, or counselors. As youth described their experiences viewing and responding to concerning posts, it became clear they don't feel trained or prepared to respond and are concerned about the privacy of the person posting.
I think sometimes if talking to the person directly doesn't make you feel comfortable, talking to someone else that could neutralize it, I think that could be helpful.
Honoring youth suggestions about the need for trusted adults, goal number 4 establishes the Viewer Care Plan. This tool guides trusted adults supporting youth who witness and post concerning content. We'll describe this tool in more detail later.
Youth involved in the discussions shared what we identified as cycle of viewer distress. This involved viewing concerning posts on social media and experiencing stress and worry, responding the best way they know how, but typically alone, observing no change in the behavior of the person posting concerning messages, and experiencing frustration, fatigue, continued stress, and guilt. Our hope is to find effective ways to end this cycle. Undoubtedly, you already have some ideas about how to support youth who view or post concerning messages. We have also developed a tool to help guide you through some of the tangible steps and actions. This tool is based on the themes and ideas shared by youth mentioned throughout the video. Please reference the viewer care plan that accompanies this video to review the steps you can take as a trusted adult. This reference was designed to help fulfill the goals of this video.
The first step is to normalize the topic by talking about the issue at school events and community gatherings to raise awareness. Start the conversation with youth you already know. Identify yourself as someone they can trust and turn to if needed. Remind youth that it can be difficult to interpret the meaning of concerning posts. If anything makes them feel concerned or uncomfortable, they should go ahead and reach out for help. If someone does come to you with a concern, listen carefully and gather more information. Ask, what have you already tried? Ask them their relationship to the person who posted the message. Was it a close friend, an acquaintance, a family member? Ask them if they have any trusted adults in common with the person they are worried about.
Assess the emotional health of the viewer. Acknowledge that it can be scary, stressful, and frustrating to repeatedly see concerning messages. Praise their attempts to provide support. If relevant, discuss responder stress and fatigue. If you are a mandated reporter, you may need to report the name of the youth who posted the concerning message or messages, but you can assure the youth who found the concerning post that you will not disclose their name. Explain to them that you will only share enough information to keep everyone safe.
As you move to a response plan, we suggest the QPR question, persuade, refer model. Reassure the viewer that you can take it from here. Be transparent about your next steps and clarify your roles moving forward. When you contact a person who posts a concerning message, question, are you feeling depressed, suicidal, feeling like you want to die? Persuade them not to act and offer them hope. refer them to help. More training on the QPR response plan is available at www.qprinstitute.com. Other safety plan resources are available at the link provided on the screen. If at any time you feel it would be important to disclose their name or ask for more help, let them know that you will discuss it with them first so that you can make a plan together to see what telling more people would look like and to ask who they would be most comfortable telling. These can be the same people that will help keep them safe over time. Let them know that you can help them tell the most important people in their life.
Finally, provide the youth who found the concerning messages with encouragement for reaching out and resources to feel more confident navigating future concerning posts. The website www.wearenative.org has fact sheets and videos for youth on this very topic.
We hope this webinar has been valuable to you and your future work and has prepared you to identify youth who witness concerning social media posts, letting them know that they need not respond alone.
We hope you are aware of and feel trained to navigate these tricky situations.
We hope you feel more prepared to assess the emotional health of those who see concerning posts using the viewer distress cycle and will directly address their concerns, frustration, or fatigue.
And that you feel prepared to confidently complete, implement the viewer care plan to support youth who view and display concerning content on social media.
Please help us spread the word about the complex nature of concerning posts on social media. We all have a role in opening up conversations with youth who post and witness these messages.
Please feel free to contact a member of our team with any questions or comments. Thank you for all that you do to support and protect the youth in your community. We would also like to thank those who shared their gift of story that we may learn from their experiences.